This is Eric Dickerson. You listen to the Walking Strong podcast. Pony up.
This is the On the Pony Express podcast, hosted by Billy Embody, brought to you by Epoch Estate Wines. Walking Strong on the Pony Express, a weekly segment with SMU alum, owner, vintner of Epoch Estate Wines, Bill Armstrong. Epoch Estate Wines, world-class wines from Paso Robles wine country. Learn more, Epoch, E-P-O-C-H, epochwines.com. And now your host. Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3, let me go.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Walking Strong with Bill Armstrong.
My podcast partner, here we are.
Playoff podcast partner.
Oh my God, what, can you
Triple
believe,
P.
can you believe we're here?
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, I can now, but.
College football playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to the college football fucking playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I am just digging it. And dude, we're 11-2.
Yep.
I mean, think about that. 11 wins.
Yeah.
And we've lost 2 games for a grand total of 6 points.
Crazy.
We are really good. And I am pumped about Saturday against Penn State.
And the possibilities that SMU has in this game, if they play to their standard.
Oh, possibility. You're reading my mind because we have got our fabulous dessert wine. This is the perfect dessert for the season.
Yeah.
Now, this dessert wine is going to last us for the next 4 games, I hope, all the way to the college football championship.
Yeah.
But so it's called Possibility. And the possibility for SMU moving forward is like absolutely unbelievable. Look at that. We are making a mess right here. Doak Walker's statue is right behind us over there. Moody is behind us over here. Most of the students are home for the holidays, so we had this little alley of trees. It's beautiful. We're chilling out on a
Feels like fall for sure around
kind
here.
of a brisky kind of day in Dallas. Nothing like what's going to be happening on Saturday in Penn State.
The football team did get an opportunity to practice in the wind that they might see this weekend in Penn State, but.
Yeah. Boy, this is so good. Unbelievable. All right.
So you can't get this in the Pony Express case, which you can still get, though.
You can get it. Go on to our website, epochwines.com. Put in there you're a friend of Billy's, and that's your back door to getting Possibility because you have to be kind of a member to get this.
Yeah. But
But this is for all of us who have journeyed this season with SMU, which has been spectacular.
Yeah.
By the way, spectacular. Ask them about Possibility because the possibilities of us and SMU going forward are like blazing a new trail.
Yeah.
And we're just going light years. You know what I heard from a media expert today who said that the positive press that we have gotten this season is well in excess over $100 million.
Oh, I was about to get
in value.
Yeah.
And I mean, like today, if y'all read that article that Dave Wilson wrote for ESPN called, "Oh my God, here come the billionaires," which was my quote. I'm not sure whatever. It is blowing up on ESPN and nationally because we are America's team.
Yeah.
It is just, it's just so spectacular. And
the school is getting so much positive press off this, exposure in all the different ways. You know, I know academics and applications are up and all of those things, but for this team to get this, I think, boost of notoriety is really cool. You know, Jonathan McGill's been on the circuit, Kevin Jennings been on the circuit doing all the media things, and people are going to have the really true potential to find out just how good this team can be.
Right.
The possibility of them making a deep run in this playoff is real if they do all the things that we've seen them do at various points this year to get to this point.
I 100% agree with you. I think the sky's the limit going into the playoffs here.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
a decent draw.
We have a great bracket.
Yeah.
We have a great bracket. Now, let's talk about upcoming Saturday. Arguably one of the toughest stadiums to play in.
Oh, yeah.
106,000 Pennsylvanians.
And they're on top of you.
They're on top of you. They're just a bunch of local people that have been eating Amish food, and they all dress in white, and because there's nothing else to do there, they come to the game, and they're just loud.
Yeah.
They're super loud. And the college football playoffs gave us like maybe 2,500 tickets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
between players' family and the band and what else, I mean, there's like 1,000 fans.
Yeah.
You know, that are going to be there for SMU. We're going to be quiet because we're in the little corner of the end zone.
Yeah.
But hey, I think we're ready for this.
I think so. I like the demeanor of the team. I like the mindset the guys have. You know, I talked to Isaiah Wacobia today, talked to Jonathan McGill, both very confident guys in general, but confident in their game plan defensively.
Oh.
Kevin Jennings, you know, he kind of put it, I asked him, I said, what's the mindset, right? You lose the ACC championship game in kind of dramatic fashion. You got to sweat out the playoff. No one expects you to be here anyway. Penn State, all the pressure's on them to win a big game.
Oh,
and he just said,
yeah.
we're here to kill. Which
He's
yeah.
here. He's here to kill. The dude is like this silent assassin,
Yeah.
with a smile on his face too.
Mm-hmm.
The smiling assassin.
Yeah.
He really is terrific, and I'm so glad he's staying with SMU.
Yeah.
You know, which is huge.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to help attract wide receivers, offensive linemen,
Yep.
because he could be a Heisman run.
I mean,
next
he's on
year.
the early list right there.
He's
you
on the
know.
early list for
Yeah,
next year's
which is
Heisman,
wild.
which is fabulous. I'm so proud of him. So, no, I think the boys are super pumped. They don't seem nervous at all. I've been at practice the last 2 days, and they're just like high-fiving me, and we're, you know, shooting the shit, and, you know, blah, blah.
And the coaches
And,
seem pretty light too, which, you know, it's a pretty good sign. I don't know if
it's a
they're
really good sign.
confident in their plan, confident in their guys, maybe a combination of both. But I don't know. That's a good thing. You know, last year obviously they played the Fenway Bowl. They said they didn't take it that seriously. I know they're
the
taking
Fenway
it.
Bowl was such a mulligan.
I know.
Oh, come on. I mean,
I know.
who even gave a fuck about being at the Fenway Bowl? The Wasabi Bowl.
Yeah.
Who cared?
Yeah.
I mean, the weather was shit, and,
Yeah.
you know, it was just like, we didn't want to be there.
Could have been
We-
in Fiesta Bowl.
Could
Yeah.
have been the Fiesta Bowl. So it was kind of like, wah, wah.
Now you get
Hey,
a chance
you know,
to play for a national championship.
Now we get to play for a national. But, you know, we're 4 games, 16 quarters away.
Yeah.
But let's don't look past Penn State, because how the hell can you? We're number 12. By the way, we're saying that. We're number 12
Yeah.
in the country, and we're going into the college football playoffs. We're playing the number 5 team
Yep.
in the country, at home, on the road. It's going to be frigid cold.
Yeah.
And but here's why I think we're ready. We were not ready against Clemson
Yeah.
in the ACC championship. We were starry-eyed. We came out. There's 75,000 people, mostly Clemson fans, which gave them the 12th man.
Yeah.
And then they had the officiators, the referees in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the 13th man.
Yeah.
We literally got no call the entire game. So we put ourselves into a 21-point hole, essentially. And we come out in the second half, and
Beat the brakes off.
we beat the brakes off.
Mm-hmm.
And they scored 10 points. Let's talk about their 10 points. They scored on basically 7 points in the second half off of an illegal pick.
Yep.
That if you watch it on replay,
Yeah.
it's just like, how the hell don't you call that? And then they kick an fabulous, out of this world,
Yeah.
pull it out of your ass, all-time record, 56-year-old kick
Yeah.
to keep from going to overtime. I am loving our defense.
Yep.
You know, there's the old saying, it's not the size of the dog. It's not the size of the dog in the fight, but rather the amount of fight in the dog.
Yeah, that's our defense. That's
Our
SMU's
defense
yeah.
are a bunch of fighting dogs.
Yeah.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah, they're hounds.
I mean, they're hounds. So we're going against Clemson, and here's what Clemson is to me. I'm just looking at their payroll or their roster, whatever you want to call it nowadays. It's Clemson with shitty helmets, shitty white helmets. I mean, they're big. They have multiple players that are otherworldly.
draft picks,
Otherworldly.
yep.
They're
100%.
Their tight end
Tyler Warren.
is probably the best tight end in the country.
Yep.
Their-
Carter.
Abdul Carter, their edge defender, is probably in the top 5 draft pick.
Yep.
He's a freak.
Freakazoid.
Freakazoid. But Clemson had a lot of guys like that too.
Yeah.
And so we're going into almost the same sort of environment, but we've been to that environment.
Against,
I mean,
like on the field between the lines, you've been in that environment.
We've been in that environment,
Right.
and and it was cold.
Yeah.
In the ACC championship,
Yeah.
and it was at night. We don't play well at night.
Yep.
So we're going in there. We've already fought the cold. We've already fought the big boys.
Yep.
It's the big boys of Penn State versus the speed of SMU.
Yeah.
And
Noon game. It reminds me so much of Louisville, and Jonathan McGill said
Yeah,
that.
no, I agree.
The Penn State offense, kind of what they want to do. I asked him. I said, what's the comparison for you guys? And he said Louisville, with just how they like to run, how they like to maybe slip the tight end out a little bit.
Yep.
And that's the things that with SMU's defensive speed that they've been able to maybe recover from. So I don't know. I've got so much trust in the defense, and it's just a matter of can you weather the storm?
And like Scott Simon's kind of got a little diss this week.
Oh yeah, no Broyles Award.
He didn't get the Broyles Award. He wasn't nominated for it. So he's like kind of like, well, he is a better coach when he's pissed off.
Oh yeah.
And he's a little pissed off.
Yeah.
And he's got a new extension for SMU. So there's all that distraction is gone.
Yep.
Which is so I'm kind of liking the way we're going into it. And by the way, I mean you touched on it, but I don't think we hit it enough. Penn State has everything to lose in this game.
Yep.
It's their first time ever at home in a college football playoff.
Yeah.
They are at home. They're a 9.5-point favorite. Is that what it still is?
Yeah, it's gone from like 6.5 to 8. It's bounced around.
All right, so it's a touchdown or more of a favorite. And by the way, this is specifically to the team, guys. I have been, and I love to be underestimated. I have been an underdog my entire life. You can never ever underestimate the power of what it is to be an underdog because they look past you. They know they're super nervous because they don't want to get beat by the team that they're way favored against. We walk in and we're loose and we're feeling good, and Penn State's tight, because what happens if we lose to these guys?
Yeah.
I mean, who is SMU?
Yeah.
I mean, is Southern Mississippi? Is it a church school? I mean, they don't even know us,
Yeah.
So now all of college football is going to know us big in another 3 years because we are back and we are large and we're going to be in charge. And by the way, I think if you're the Big Ten, you look at SMU and said, I kind of want them to be associated with our conference versus the ACC. I love the ACC. I'm not saying anything.
Yep.
But the way we got dissed before, look at us. The demographics of Dallas, the recruiting complex within the
high school ranks.
The high school ranks.
Transfers coming back.
You come into Texas, the Big Ten doesn't have any Southern presence.
Yeah.
They got to look at us and say, shit.
I mean, Northwestern's a great school outside Chicago, all that. They've got a cool new stadium, but they haven't done anything in the Big Ten. Really. A couple good seasons here and there, but
you've got
the possibilities.
The possibility, you got to prove you want to be in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm going down on Saturday morning. Got a full jet. I've got Lance McElhaney. I've got Mike Craven. I got you. I've got Greg James on a jet, and our box is going to be amazing. We're going to have Bryson DeChambeau. By the way, I was thinking about it. Bryson DeChambeau is the Matthew McConaughey of SMU.
That's good. That's good.
He's very handsome, very rich. The difference is Matthew McConaughey only played the part of somebody who had actually done something, where Bryson has actually fucking done it.
Yeah.
Just saying. So Bryson's going to be with us. He's going to be in the camp, and you got to love that. We have Eric in our suite, Lance in our suite, Craig in our suite, the entire Pony Express backfield.
Awesome.
It's nice to have a suite.
That one.
And I want to thank one of my great friends, a young SMU billionaire, Brian Sheffield, for securing that box. I have no idea how he did it, but he did.
There we go.
Now I'm going to be on the field because Rhett loves me there because he knows I have eligibility, and he always needs to have me there. I will have my ankles taped, and in a squeeze, well, I'm not sure why you're laughing right now, because on a squeeze, I still got a little bit of game.
You got to tape your ankles.
I got a little bit of game in me. I'm just saying, and Rhett knows that.
Yeah.
So he sees me walking there wearing my black.
Yeah.
I can just take it off like Superman.
Yeah.
There's my cape. There's my number. Don't laugh at me. Anyway, so you want to make a prediction?
Yeah, sure. You ready?
You go first.
Okay. I am going to go 27-24 SMU.
Okay.
I think the defense is ready. I don't have any question about that. I think they play well enough against teams like this that, okay, you want to run the football? Good luck. Against Boston College for SMU, SMU didn't have Elijah. That's a big difference maker in that game, and Boston College got a little bit. I think the BC offensive line is very similar to Penn State's in terms of how physical they are. I think SMU is going to be ready for it this time. They'll be able to slow down the run just enough. They did it against Clemson. And Penn State, people that watch SMU are starting to find out, they're realizing, okay, they have that depth. they have that talent. You know, this defense comes at you in waves. I think they do that on Saturday, keep them bottled up enough, but it is a tough atmosphere. I think it's going to be close for that reason, but I think SMU gets an early score, they get back on the right track with that, and then they kind of ride that in a tough-fought playoff game win.
Okay, 3-point SMU win. I'm going to go a little bolder.
4-point game.
4-point game, 4-point SMU win. Okay, here's why. I'm not going to go into quite as much detail as you did, but our defense has traveled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they're not used to our speed. And pick your poison. Are we going to throw on them, or are we going to run on them?
Yeah.
Because we can do it. We can do both.
Yeah.
And I just think that they're probably not going to be ready for that.
Yeah.
I don't think they have an answer to KJ. I really don't. So I'm going to say SMU by 7.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a little tighter score. It's going to be 24-17. I think it's going to be a little bit less. So so we're flying into Happy Valley. Why they call it Happy Valley, I have no idea. It's a Nittany Lion because of Mount Nittany.
Okay.
Right there. It's hardly a mountain at all. By the way, here's Penn State for you. It's a little town called State College. It's a massive campus. I mean, they've got 70,000 undergrads. We have 7. They're 10 times larger than us. They've got an endowment that's roughly twice the size. So it's a really great public school.
Yep.
They have Mount Nittany, looks like a hill, but we're stupid enough to call SMU the hilltop.
Yeah.
I mean,
in Dallas, which is pretty flat.
I'm not going to complain about that.
You weren't around to make that decision.
No,
That's
I was
okay.
not. I mean, the hilltop, are you kidding me? It's like flat as a pancake. Yeah. Anyway, so we're here. We're going into Penn State, and the stadium is called Beaver Stadium, which I just love that concept. So because it's going to be so cold, here's my prediction. We're going to fly in and out for the game, into Beaver. Happy ending at Happy Valley.
Okay.
In and out of the Beaver. In and out of the Beaver quick. Happy ending, Happy Valley. Does that work for you guys? Does that work?
I think that works for most everyone.
I'm not sure if anybody gets exactly my nuance. Was that nuanced at all, or is it just
subliminal messaging?
Kind of blatant? All right, so I am so psyched about this season. We cannot wait to see y'all on Saturday. If you're going, if you're watching it on TV, just bundle up, wear a hat at your house, wherever it is, and pretend like you're in the cold. Yeah. And we win. It's going to be great. Mustangs rule.
Yeah, the possibilities are endless on this one. So we will be following it all live at Penn State as SMU looks to topple the Nittany Lions, 11 a.m. Central on TNT. A date with Boise State on New Year's Eve in the Fiesta Bowl on the line, which would be poetic if SMU could get back to the Fiesta Bowl.
One game at a time, baby.
One game at a time.
One game at a time, baby. I just want to talk about Penn State right now in Happy Valley. Here we come.
Yep, here we go.
So psyched. A legendary stadium. It's going to be so much fun.
Cheers to that. Love you too. Cheers. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas as well, and we will catch you guys next time on another edition of Walking Strong. I love it.
I want to be fun.
Yeah.
This is
a lot of possibilities.
A lot of possibilities. I like that.
This is the On the Pony Express podcast, part of the On3 network. Check out all the SMU coverage you need at ontheponyexpress.com. Now, here's your host, Billy Embody.
1, 2, 3, let me go.